maintain that the most valuable thing that you have in your life is your time. Yeah. You only have a certain amount of it, and then game over.
Well, I go back to something that somebody said on one of our video clips about if something is really, really important to your spouse, make it just as important to you.
Yeah.
And it was something that has really stuck with me down the years. It's just such sensible advice.
Yeah, perfect. She said it this way. She said, if something is important to your spouse, make it just as important to you. And I think time, one of the most crucial areas where I've heard wives complain about their husbands is, I never get his time.
Or I wish he'd just talk to me.
Yeah, I wish he'd just talk to me. I wish he'd spend time with me. Why did she marry you? She married you for your time.
Yeah.
And if you deprive her of your time, then she gets frustrated. She feels like it's for nothing. Well, why did I marry him if I won't even spend time with me?
Exactly.
So again, intentionality.
Yeah.
You've got to intentionally find ways, means, occurrences, events where you want to spend time together.
When you start your relationship, you want to spend time together. So why is it that after you're married, it seems to drift away? And if you let it, you can let it drift away, but if it does, it could be really bad. So you've got to find ways of making sure those connections stay tight, because otherwise why bother to get married at all?
Yeah, if you don't give her your time, subconsciously that says she's not worth anything.
Yeah.
What you spend time on is what you value. Yeah. What you love is what you'll spend time on.
Yeah.
So really, again, you can be intentional about your love. You can stop and say, wait a minute, my wife is worth so much more than my Beamer. My wife is worth so much more than my computer or my work. Men are so work-driven.
Yeah.
I have also had that problem in my life where I felt like I had to be the provider, and all my time was spent trying to provide for my family, and my family might have suffered.
Well, I did that too.
Yeah.
Where I was so busy making sure the bills were paid that my children grew up and I hardly noticed.
And I deprived them of the thing that they most needed from me, my time. Because what is your child or your wife going to remember about you when you're gone? Is she going to remember the work you did, or is she going to remember the time she spent with you? I think you know the answer to that.
Yeah, and children the same. They're not going to be too worried about the fact that they went on a holiday to Mallorca or whatever. Did Dad come with?
Yeah.
Or was Mum there? And if Dad or Mum is missing, it leaves a scar.
If you won't spend time with me, that means you don't love me. That means I am not valued by you, and I am not important in your life. Yeah. That's what it means.
Yeah.
I mean, I just have to be brutal about it, because so much more is perceived by what you don't say than what you do say. Punchline: what are your loved ones going to remember about you when you're gone? Will they remember your accomplishments or the time you spent with them? I think we all know the answer to that question. Next week, Judy and I will be talking about spending time with your spouse when it's not exactly what you'd want to do. God bless, and we'll see you then.